I'm Ron Wenzinger, the current president of the Whitney Point Rotary Club for the year 2013-2014. We're glad you're watching this video. I got to start by telling you that I'm a Rotarian because Rotary practices service above self. We have opportunities on a regular basis to do good work in our community and in the world. As you watch this video, you'll see more about it.
I'm a past president, Jim Petrie. Our thought on this DVD was to get information out there for people to get an idea of what we do and how we do it. It is all about service above self. And in our local club, we raise about $60,000 a year, and we give all that away. 90% of it stays in our community, about 10% of it may go to an international project. But you'll see in this DVD a lot of different things we do and the fun we have doing it.
Hi, I'm Kim Chidester. I'm the immediate past president of the Whitney Point Rotary Club, and I'm here to share with you that the reason why I am a Rotarian is because I absolutely truly believe in the organization. I'm inspired by the people that share the same values, the same commitment, the same enthusiasm that I do for Rotary. It is, to me, the ultimate service organization. You can share of yourself in many ways as far as monetary, your service, helping others, whether it be the elderly, teenagers, our youth, and it truly is an inspiring experience. So please do enjoy the rest of this video. I hope you are just as equally inspired as I have been over the years.
Rotary International was started in 1905 by an attorney in Chicago named Paul Harris. Paul Harris's main goal for Rotary International was to put service above self, put ourselves above, or put service above ourselves in our own communities and worldwide.
Probably one of the more successful things we're known for worldwide is the eradication of polio. In 1988, the World Health Assembly, now the World Health Organization, partnered with Rotary on polio eradication. Between 1985 and 2011, Rotary raised over $700 million for polio eradication, $185 million from 2008 through 2011 alone, and helped immunize over 2 billion individuals. Transmission of the polio virus has been stopped in all but 3 countries, Afghanistan, Nigeria, and Pakistan. So with your help and many other people's help, we're hoping to keep this going and raise as much money as we can to fight this polio.
Our local Whitney Point Club was established in 1941. We were chartered by the Johnson City Rotary Club and had approximately 40 members. We celebrated our 70th anniversary back in 2011, and we still have about 40 members today.
The Whitney Point Rotary Club has a great relationship with the school district, and the Interact Club, which is the student version of Rotary, has a rich history in Whitney Point. It started back in the mid-1960s, and it's a great avenue for kids to learn leadership skills.
Hi, we are Brad and Norma Snyder, and we are going to talk about our Rotary's social media presence. For the past year, we have been working to develop our Facebook page. Our Facebook page helps explain who we are and what we do. You can find club information such as membership, history, activities and events. This is an effort to better inform the public to all the wonderful things that our club does for the community.
The Rotary Club puts on the Easter egg hunt every year and has been doing that for several years. Started off with boiling eggs and coloring them, and when that got too much, we went to plastic eggs. Last year we had over 1,000 eggs that we put together with candy and gifts and prizes, and kids really have a great time.
The Rotary Club also does a Halloween parade every year, and we usually have almost 200 kids at that dress up, and we do a parade around Whitney Point. We do that as a part of our community service. Does not cost anything, and it's a great thing.
The Interact Club, they have a couple of projects that they do every year. One of them is roller skating.
Yes, Interact has been doing that a number of years. They have it for all our grades, our elementary school grades. Come and they share an evening, they rotate the schedule, and they each come and interact. Students are there to chaperone, offer assistance, and actually skate with the kids. And they very much enjoy that, as much as little kids certainly do look up to them as wonderful role models.
And that's been a project I roller skated as a student with the Interact Club. So it's been going on for many years.
Good evening. I'm here to share a couple of quick points about a very special program at the Whitney Point Rotary Club. One that's, I'll have to say, is near and dear to my heart. And that is the Student Award Fund. The Rotary motto, as all of you know, I'm sure, is service above self. The Whitney Point Rotary Club established the Student Award Fund in 1987. Since then, contributions to the fund have totaled over $200,000. Each year, the fund gives to graduating seniors from Whitney Point Central Schools based on their volunteer service within the community. They don't have to be an excellent student, they don't have to be an excellent athlete, they don't have to have anything more than the desire to give to their community to volunteer. Last June, just as an example, the fund was able to give away 6 awards at graduation totaling $12,000. The largest award was $3,500. I hope you can see why this Student Award Fund is indeed important to me, to all Rotarians, and I believe to the community of Whitney Point.
The Whitney Point Rotary Club's been involved in the youth exchange program of the District 7170 since 1966. It's an opportunity for students from other parts of the world to come and see what life is like here in the U.S., and it provides the students in Whitney Point with an opportunity to interact with other students their age, talk about things that they have in common, differences in their culture.
The objectives of the program, not just for the Whitney Point Rotary Club, but for Rotary International in terms of the student exchange, it's to further goodwill and understanding amongst nations by youth being involved.
We've had students nearly every year, about 50 total incoming students, and they've come from a variety of countries, South American countries, Bolivia, Argentina, some of the European countries, Germany, the Netherlands, France, Spain. We've had them from Japan, from Australia.
It also gives students an opportunity to broaden their outlook. It's amazing to watch, I think it's amazing to watch these students that come to Whitney Point. Of course, they're coming to New York. Whitney Point, New York. They're thinking New York City, and it certainly broadens their horizons in terms of what they thought was going to happen, what reality is, and that's vital.
And it's a life-changing experience, both for those who are inbound and outbound. The other side of the exchange is that we have the opportunity to then allow some of our students to travel to some of these countries. And indeed, about 25, 26 students from Whitney Point have traveled and spent a year in these other countries.
It also gives these students a chance to act as ambassadors. And I'll have to say, the students that have come here have represented themselves and their home countries very, very well.
Falls into play with one of the avenues of service of Rotary, and that is the international service and fostering goodwill throughout the world. And I think we're really happy to have been part of it as long as we have and hope to continue.
Hi, I'm Bert McCulloch, and I'm going to talk to you about 2 Rotary projects that we've been involved in the last few years. Park benches and our trail at Dorchester Park.
So the Whitney Point Rotary Club, besides our special events, over the years have done a lot of projects, and this is probably one of our hallmark stellar projects of the Bikeway Walkway because of the usage that it gets. So it's been our privilege to put that opportunity in front of everybody.
About 15 years ago, we decided that we should have a trail at Dorchester Park that would go from the high school across Whitney Point Dam and up to the park.
So it took us 10 years just to get the project started, and it actually only took us less than 2 weeks to finish it from start to finish once we started the project.
And we started construction of it with some volunteer labor. And now we have over a 1.5 mile trail that goes from Whitney Point up over the dikes, up to Dorchester Park. It's 8 feet wide, has a bridge in it near the Whitney Point Dam, and it's all asphalt. People use this constantly. Now, along with the trail, there were a couple of other things that were needed, we felt. We needed some park benches. So at the top of what we call the Dam Hill, which is really the top of the hill on Route 26 going to the park, we installed 2 park benches. And last year, we joined forces with the American Legion and we put a flagpole there. This year, we've since added 6 more park benches, and the Park Service, they went and just put them out about a month ago. So we have 6 more park benches along the walkway that we think complement it. So these are 2 examples of some Rotary projects that we've been involved in. Now, I'm a 30-year member, but I feel that why am I a member? Because of, well, projects like this, and we do a lot of good for the community, or if you want to, you can also join in projects that are more international. But these projects here are 2 that you can see every day. People love them. We get write-ups about them in the paper, and they were a lot of fun to do with other businessmen, Rotary and government people, to get the job done. And everyone seemed to coordinate quite well. And hey, stop up and take a look at them. Thank you.
Does flower barrels for the village or the village beautification. We do between 110 and 120 flower barrels each year, but it's been a wonderful program, and we're very proud of it.
You put out 110 flower barrels in the village size of Whitney Point, and it looks really nice. A couple other little things we do with flowers is all the main signs, the traffic signs, route signs around town. We have built small flower beds around them, and every year we plant flowers in those. We have supplied some of the equipment to the village to water those, as well as the hanging baskets the village puts up. For no other reason, just trying to give back to the community and a little bit of beautification. And we also, along with that, once or twice every year, do a community cleanup. It's not like to rent a highway or rent an area thing. We just get together with our little black bags and our pickup sticks and clean up as much stuff around town as we can. Which is a way of making town look a little more attractive and a little more beautiful.
We're also responsible for the Welcome to Whitney Point signs, one on the north end and one on the south end, and we try to keep them.
We keep them cleaned up and painted and trimmed back, and it lets you know that, yes, number one, you're coming to Whitney Point. We have an active Rotary Club, and if the sign area looks that pretty and cleaned up and with flowers, the rest of the town is too.
Okay, I'm John Sherman, and I'm the regatta director for the New York State Collegiate Rowing Championship Regatta. The regatta is a joint sponsorship between the New York State Coaches Association and our local Rotary. 2013 was the 21st year of the state championships, and it's the 11th year that it was held here in Dorchester Park.
To put on such a great event, it takes a whole list of volunteers. So we reach out into the community. So it's not only the Whitney Point Rotarians that are volunteering their time during the 2-day event, but we also incorporate up to 6 other organizations within our local community to get enough volunteers to put it on. Typically, we will have somewhere between 70 and 80 volunteers to help put on the event, and it includes everybody from the Whitney Point Booster Club to the Interact Club, to the fire departments, to the ambulance squads, to the Masons. They've all been an integral part of helping us out to be able to pull this event off and to have it really be a 2-day fun event in Whitney Point.
In 2013, we had 28 colleges with a total of 877 athletes. That's 427 men and 450 women from those schools. The regatta, as I said before, would not be possible without the volunteers. It is so critical both in terms of ensuring the safety of all of the participants, as well as adhering to the schedule and the overall organization. The races are run on 8-minute centers, which means that there is a race that starts every 8 minutes. The fastest boat completes the course in 6 minutes, which means that there's always at least 2 races on the course at the same time, which is a massive amount of coordination and dedication by our volunteers to ensure that everything stays on schedule.
Held a bike race. This is a road race, 2 different distances, 26 mile, 50 mile. We've held them for 24 years. The race is called a citizens race. It's not a sanctioned race, but we get a lot of riders that enjoy it. Usually held in the early part of the year, sometimes as early as April, most recently usually the first or second week of June. And as I said, riders take off and ride the courses, and we've got prizes for them at the end. We have road marshals around to keep track of where they are at various points on the course, to help them with corners, make sure that it can be a safe ride. And it's generally just a fun time for those who like to participate, and it makes a few dollars for the Rotary Club for some of the projects we do.
Lobster Fest started in 2007. We started at Lyle Fire Station with just 175 tickets sold. Right now, we average around 350, and we've moved to the Lyle Fire Station to accommodate all the extras.
With that 350 tickets we sell, the dinner comes with a lobster fresh from Maine and a dozen clams and sides. And we raise about almost $7,000 a year that goes into our budget for things, so it's been a huge fundraiser for us, and everybody has a really good time. And George will tell a little bit about how we get the lobsters.
I'm one of the guys that goes to Maine. We go to Booth Bay Harbor, and I happen to have some connections and know some folks up there that are lobstermen, so we get a really good price. We leave here on, well, hopefully if we can leave on Thursday, they can meet the Rotary Club in Booth Bay Harbor for Thursday evening's meeting. Friday, we just sort of get the dock to meet the guys again, and at 5 o'clock Saturday morning, we take the lobster fresh out of the ocean, put them in the coolers, and we're off back to Whitney Point and cook them for a 4 o'clock dinner. It's been wonderful, and it's a great experience. Get kind of tired by the end of the day, but it's good.
Look forward to seeing you.
I'm with the Whitney Point Rotary Club, and once a year, about the middle of October, the club gets involved in selling 100 Super Bowl raffle tickets. And the way the tickets are set up, you win at the end of the first, second, and third quarter, and on the final score, you win twice as much money. And the club tries to make a couple of bucks, half of which goes back to the people that buy the tickets, and the other half goes to the community. I'd like to talk about 2 tickets that I sold personally over the last 20 years or so. A little sentimental. Walked into a little grocery store in Endicott, New York. Guy's a pretty good friend of mine also. He says, "Charlie, I just got my wife out of the hospital. Business sucks. If I didn't have this lottery machine from the state of New York, I'd probably close the doors. I just can't afford it this year." I said, "Don't worry about it, Buck. I'm in here to see you. If you can, you can. If you can't, you can't. You take care of yourself and have a nice Christmas." I came back the following year, like that conversation never happened. He threw me 5 $20 bills and away I went. Guess what? He won $1,000. I came back the following year. I could tell things weren't doing too great. He threw me 5 $20 bills, and guess what? He won again, another $1,000. Here's a guy that couldn't afford to buy a ticket. The 2 years prior to that, he won $1,000 2 years in a row. And I could go on, but that's the satisfaction I get out of selling tickets all over, well, Hancock, Bainbridge, Horseheads in New York.
The Whitney Point Rotary Club volunteers every year to ring the Salvation Army bell at Christmas time.
Meet a lot of nice people and raise money. I think somewhere, I would say over $3,000 a year we raise for the local Salvation Army chapter.
Salvation Army reserves the money that we collect for our community. Whatever dollars we get stays right in our community to work.
Whoever comes and goes to these two conveniences, we ring the bell and get what we can, and it's amazing. Some are pennies, and the next one gives you a $20 bill or writes you a check, whatever. It all goes in the same pot. It's a service we do for the Salvation Army.
Without some service organizations volunteering to ring the Salvation Army bell, there would be way fewer bells and pots around than there are. So it's something we enjoy doing, and it gets Salvation Army into our area, lets people know that Rotary is there as well as the Salvation Army.
I've been a member of the Whitney Point Rotary Club for 11 years, and one of the things I'm proudest of is our participation in the food pantry and clothing bank. Also, as a pastor of the Whitney Point United Methodist Church, it's been a privilege to see that the Rotary Club is one of the two largest supporters financially of the food bank. Every month we take a collection at our meeting, and it becomes a big part of their operating budget. When the clothing bank moved a year ago, Rotary was also involved in supporting the building of a new building. And if you haven't been there, you ought to go up and just walk through and see the clothes, see the food. It's like going to a small grocery store or a clothing store. It's arranged so that you can shop and get what you need. It's a great way that we support our community.
The Whitney Point Rotary has like an 11-year relationship with the American Cancer Society here in Broome County. We've done a number of events over time, including Relay for Life, our local equivalent of it, Celebration of Hope, and now we've just had our 4th annual wine tasting in the spring, Taste of Spring.
The Taste of Spring event, this will be our 5th this coming spring, which 2 were held at Schaefer's Gardens and 2 have been held at Fort Hill. We have 4 to 5 New York wineries from New York State that attend. We raised over $20,000 in the past 4 years, which went to the American Cancer Society. It's a big social event. Everyone just comes, and there's usually between 250 to 300 people there that attend. Schaefer's Gardens donates all the plants that we sell at the event, and then they donate all the money back to the American Cancer Society.
All right. Anything
That's
else?
fine.
We're done.
All right.
Well, you've heard a lot of good things that have happened locally in Rotary over the recent history. Over those 70 years, the Whitney Point Rotary Club has been able to accomplish a lot of great things. We're hopeful that we'll be able to celebrate 150 years and continue to grow in size as a club. In addition to some of the other things that you've heard Rotary's done over the recent past, in our longer history, Rotary Club has been able to do things like sponsor the playing fields behind the CEA school, which allows a lot of our kids to enjoy all the different games that they get to play: soccer, field hockey, lacrosse, everything like that. We've also sponsored a number of the playgrounds in all the neighboring schools, and that's been a thing that a lot of the kids have enjoyed. Also, we have continued to maintain the welcome signs as you come in and out of Whitney Point throughout the years.
If you're interested in learning more, please search us out on Facebook and find us at Whitney Point Rotary Club and like us. Here you can receive access to contest club activities and events. We look forward to meeting you and telling our story. See you on the web.
Thank you for taking your time to review this DVD. I hope that you found many aspects of what we are as far as our Rotary organization to be inspiring. And please, should you have any questions and would like to learn more, look up any Rotarian that you know, and we'll be happy to answer any questions.
As you can see, we do an awful lot. This is not even everything we do. You're welcome to come to a Thursday night meeting to learn more and see members of the club and in the community who's really part of this thing and how big it is, not even just at a local basis, but in an international basis as well.
This is an invitation if you haven't figured it out by now. We'd love for you to join our club. We'd love for you to just attend our activities, our fundraisers, or be supportive in any way you can. Rotary is a wonderful worldwide organization, and we're going to change the world, both in our community and on a large scale. Why don't you join us?